Every year, the health of children under 5 years old in Cambodia is threatened due to a lack of good sanitation and hygiene, leading to undernutrition and stunting. Not washing hands with soap, exposure to harmful feces in the environment, and drinking unsafe contaminated water are some of the main causes of life-threatening child illnesses such as diarrhea. So how can we motivate caregivers to ensure children under 5 years old learn good hygiene habits early and grow up healthy?
Hello, I'm Nadia Campos and I am the director of ID Innovation Lab.
Hello, I'm Sahar Zafar and I'm a design strategist at the Innovation Lab.
We work on social impact projects around the world in Africa, Latin America and Asia. And we apply a mix of methodology like human-centered design, behavioral economics, behavior change and digital marketing in a variety of sectors like climate change, wash, nutrition, maternal health and energy.
And I was leading the project that we'll be talking about today. We'll be explaining to you how we use different prototypes to develop a national campaign to improve wash, sanitation and hygiene behaviors in Cambodia. So please join us as we take you through our design journey.
Introducing Ye Komru, the national behaviour change campaign designed to improve child hygiene and sanitation practices through real-life inspiring characters. Ye Komru is an aspirational role model grandmother who sets a good example for caregivers and shows them how to teach their children good habits at a young age through affection and easy-to-follow steps. And because kids need role models too, smart kid superhero characters called Kmeng Chalat motivate kids along the way. The Cambodian government and supporting partners have taken a multi-sectoral approach to develop this campaign for everyone to use. Targeting caregivers and children between 2 to 5 years old, it focuses on specific child-centered behaviours. Increasing latrine adoption for children and stopping open defecation. Creating a habit to wash their hands with soap at 2 critical times, after using the latrine and before eating anything, including snacks. And increasing access to clean, safe drinking water for children. Developed using human-centered design and behaviour change methodology, the campaign has taken a creative approach to problem solving, putting people at the centre of the process to understand their motivations and barriers, leading to innovative solutions that are tailor-made to suit their needs and create positive impact. Working with the local community and multiple stakeholders from different areas of expertise has ensured all solutions are relevant and inclusive. The Ye Komru campaign has been designed by the community for the community through an interactive experimental process, learning from people along the way during multiple rounds of research and testing.
The campaign concept and materials have been rooted in deep research and testing, which have been generated through a co-creation initially and then gone through this continuous process of rapid prototyping and iterating based on feedback from the community, from target audiences, from different stakeholders. And over this 18 months to 2-year project journey, various levels of prototypes were developed over 6 rounds of testing. And these included things like testing visuals, different types of messages, physical materials, different types of content, as well as conducting short behavioral trials. And through this iterative design process, it helped refine and shape the solutions that could be closer to people's needs, that would address their challenges and their barriers, and also take into account key components of behavior change. After conducting field research, we led a co-creation workshop with multiple stakeholders, taking a collaborative approach not only to establish dialogue between different organizations, but also create solutions together to build on existing knowledge and experiences in a Cambodian context. And this sharing of information between different stakeholders and sectors meant we were able to create more informed decisions about what works, what doesn't work, and also incorporate important learnings from others. After holding a co-creation with stakeholders from diverse backgrounds and expertise, we started with 20 different prototypes from prioritized ideas from the workshop, ranging from product ideas, messaging, different research probes, and then these were used to test a broad range of ideas and get a deeper understanding around sanitation motivations and barriers. We wanted to discover people's perceptions, their triggers, emotions, any hidden biases. So before designing any solutions, we use these prototypes to uncover different aspects of people's thinking to make future solutions more effective, and considered 3 areas: knowledge, emotion, and the environment. A solution needs to be accompanied with the right knowledge, people knowing what to do. But how do you deliver this information effectively? And we wanted to create different prototypes to find out exactly how to deliver information about good sanitation practices more effectively and to help people remember. So for example, we learned that people in rural areas in Cambodia copy each other. When they see their neighbors do something, they follow it. So we used dances and songs and actions as a way to motivate children to wash their hands with soap, amongst other hygienic behaviors. And this shows that a prototype doesn't always have to be a product. In this case, it was a song, and this helped make the actions and the behaviors a lot more memorable. But we all know that having knowledge about, for example, washing hands doesn't necessarily mean we wash our hands. So as part of designing a hand washing solution, we created research probes and conducted interactive sessions to explore exactly what kind of emotions would trigger adults and children to do this behavior. And we used visuals, getting people to draw their ideal role models, doing card sort activities to prioritize messages and aspirations, and so forth. And what came out were these positive emotions, feelings like pride, status, feeling appreciated, messages that empathize with their situation, helping children become smart and have a better life, feeling capable, being inspired by positive examples. All of these things connected to the feeling to an action to create that motivation. We also designed probes to explore negative emotional triggers such as fear and disgust. In Cambodia, we learned that sickness is not a huge motivator to do an action. Although people don't want to get sick, germs are not a main concern because they can't see them. So we created experiments and visual tests to understand people's perception of germs, getting participants to draw what a germ looks like, learning what scares them, and also conducting black-like experiments to make the concept of germs transfer more visual. So once people know what to do, and then we understand their motivations and the emotions that trigger that particular behavior, we wanted to also think about their surroundings. How can we make it easy for them to change? How do we make that enabling environment, that path to that behavior change, much simpler for them to practice? So we tested many different ideas, initially as low-fidelity prototypes. One example is an idea for public hand-washing stations in the village. Not in the form of a physical product prototype, but more of a rapid prototype that includes testing the idea very quickly at minimal cost. We showed a photo of a potential public hand washing station with a 4-page pitch deck with illustrating the problem, the solution, and how it works and the benefits to deliver the concept quickly and to gauge reactions. We also looked at existing services in the villages and realized that vendors were an unused channel. There were grocery sellers, small shop vendors around different households who did not have hand washing stations. So we set up behavior trials to understand, would people use these hand washing stations? Would children be attracted to them? If we use different type of role models on the images, would people be motivated to carry out these behaviors? Would this make the path easy for them to wash hands with soap? And would these vendors be motivated to become hygiene champions? Many of our prototypes started off as just paper prototypes, something that could be created very rapidly, quickly, even inspired while we were in the field. As we learned more, as we tested with different people, we were able to iterate our designs, try different concepts, see what worked, what didn't work, and then incorporate this into our new ideas and solutions. So very early on, without having to spend too much time or money, we were learning what resonates with our target audiences and what could potentially work in a national campaign. We also had prototypes that we created that didn't quite work how we wanted to, but we learned from this failure. So for example, you may have seen the tippy tap in parts of Africa, and we thought maybe this could work in Cambodia, but when we tested it here, in this context, it didn't quite do as well. So people did not like the fact that water was running everywhere outside their house and made the outside muddy. So sometimes when ideas work in one place, they don't necessarily work in the other, but we can learn from the test. Another example of a failure were reminder stickers. We had different stickers for kids to have in their household to remind them to drink clean, safe water, to use the latrine, and also to wash their hands with soap, using these superhero characters. We gave these to households after different training sessions to see where they would put them in their household, and then visited the households later. We saw that people had put their hand washing stickers on the rain jars outside their houses, but then we also noticed that kids had stuck the drinking water sticker on the rain jars as well, which is unsafe to drink from. So although we see this as a failing prototype, we actually think of it as a win, because we learned that while we might assume people would use these reminder stickers in the right way, they didn't actually use them to the benefit of what they're supposed to be doing. So what have we learned from all of this? What do we need to consider when developing prototypes? First and foremost, always try to understand the problem you're solving, and then think about who you need to target and what you need to know about them. Make sure to test early and often. Low fidelity is the way to go. It saves time, it saves money. Fail fast and fail often, and always iterate, iterate, iterate. Design without assumptions. You can use these prototypes as research probes to find out more, and be open to redefining that challenge. Understand what you're looking for and how you will measure it as well. Looking for the right signals to know what's working, what isn't, is also very important to think of when you're designing a prototype.
Thank you so much for listening, and hope you enjoyed our video on rapid prototyping.
And if you want to learn more about the work that we do, follow the IDE Innovation Lab on social media.
Welcome.